I now give the floor to the representative of Sri Lanka.
Excellencies, distinguished delegates. At the outset, let me congratulate the People's Republic of China for assuming the presidency in the Security Council. I also congratulate China for organizing this important and timely debate. As we commemorate the 80th anniversary of the United Nations this year, it is useful to reflect on the collective progress made over the last 8 decades and chart our way forward, building on the experience gained to build a more just, inclusive and peaceful world. Since becoming a member of this august body in 1955, Sri Lanka has been a staunch advocate of multilateralism. Diplomacy and dialogue as cornerstones leading to international peace and security. A world in which we work together is more prosperous and safer one for all. The challenges of today, ranging from armed conflicts to traditional and non-traditional security threats, make it imperative that we strengthen our commitment to collective action through UN system. Mr. President, the geopolitical landscape has changed drastically since the inception of the UN in 1945. To effectively and equitably address current and future issues, the voices of developing nations must be represented in global governance structures, including this Council. Developing nations that represent 85% of the world's population must have a greater voice in decision-making. Sri Lanka supports reforms that enhance the Council's transparency and effectiveness to better address the complex challenges, both now and in the future. Among the many attempts, processes and ideas for effective reforms, the Pact of the Future provides us with initiatives to revitalize multilateralism and reform global governance. It is important that member states work through the UN to prioritize approaches to conflict prevention, peace building, and post-conflict recovery to address fundamental issues that underlie instability. We recognize that peace is not merely the absence of war, but sustainable resilience to conflict that includes well-being, justice, economic opportunity, and social cohesion, an atmosphere in which all can thrive equally. Mr. President, the credibility of the international system depends on the fair and consistent application of international law. It is essential to the success of multilateralism. It is necessary that selective enforcement of international law should not take place. Enforcement of rules must be uniform. We use this opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to upholding the UN Charter, international law, and international humanitarian law. Mr. President, we live in a time when the nature of international threats is evolving at an alarming speed. Climate change, cyber threats, malicious use of AI, and maritime security are all factors in this new age. These threats are not confined by borders and require collective action. Moreover, for each country to harness the power of technology to reach its full developmental potential, it is necessary to work together to bridge the digital divide between countries and within societies. New technologies have the ability to turbocharge development. Hence, it is essential that we broaden access and knowledge of digital technologies. Mr. President, the adoption of the Pact for the Future is a testament to our collective determination to uphold peace, security, and sustainable development. Sri Lanka remains committed to work with all countries and international organizations in the process of translating these commitments into tangible actions that benefit all nations. Mr. President, in the spirit of multilateralism, Sri Lanka reaffirms our trust in diplomacy over dispute and cooperation over conflict. For 80 years, the United Nations has been the world's meeting place to practice multilateralism, and we must work together to usher in the necessary reforms to make the UN system to continue to work for us as a beacon of hope and a force for good in the world. I thank you, Mr. President.
I thank the representative of Sri Lanka.